20-minute mark, 30-minute mark when Anti-Mage starts coming online, it might be able to shut down the Medusa before she actually gets big. But you never know, obviously, until you see what all happened.
It looks like the runes are actually going to be uncontested for both lanes. Top's going to want to try to get contested by the Dire, but I don't think they will be able to. And same with
Bino
bot.
has to be careful.
Yeah,
he only has his passive, so he has to be definitely careful.
But it looks like the Dire or the Radiant is going to get both of the the runes.
I wonder how.
Yeah, Radiant's definitely going to take the bounty rooms, and obviously with the one of the more recent patches, you get 100 gold on both sides and like 100 experience. Halfway to level 1, especially if you're an offlane and you do happen to get that, it's pretty huge. That's huge for anyone. We got some wards coming out.
It looks like we have Lycan mid against the Invoker. So we're gonna have to kind of see how that plays out. If the like I said, if the Invoker does end up snowballing, it's gonna probably end up being a very, very miserable game for the Radiant side.
Oh yeah, like I said, I didn't necessarily want the Bino to be mid just because I feel like he's gonna be pressured by the Invoker pretty hard. The range itself is gonna be pretty killer. So Lycan's gonna have to play very passively, or he's gonna be put in a position where he's gonna have to play passively. So like I said, he has to be very cautious. Zoco, as of right now, it looks like Catsclaw. I mean, I've seen Centaur support, so I wouldn't doubt it per se. It's just better when the Lycan or the Centaur gets the early levels or whatnot, so he could possibly go for his blink earlier and start being more of an initiator and I guess snowball hero helping their lanes.
I can almost see the thought process as far as why Jug and AA would go top. I mean,
oh, no,
AA just kind of does the harassing, and Jug just kind of soaks up the XP, not necessarily even going for the last hits.
Well, that's what I've seen. Like I said, Jug has been offlane the past while. I think I said this at the very beginning of the draft. That this is happening a lot more. Like, I played a lot of games where Jug was just... It's been picked like every game. It's like replaced the PA almost. But with Jug, you almost have the option of picking the offlane. So it's like not necessarily that he, like, you know, you want Zoco to be one of the main DPS and whatnot. But if you have the Jug to soak up levels or whatnot, and he goes for the crit, it's very deadly. And he doesn't need... You know, he needs farm, but it's very more modest where he can actually be more involved in team fights earlier on and be very effective.
Yeah, that is true. Looks like we have a double damage rune top, so...
We have the wards coming out from the Dire side, not too particular. We don't see any wards on the Radiant side, so that's a little bit unfortunate. So they're actually very susceptible to ganks, so they have to be very cautious on how they actually go around the map. And you see Matt down here. He's getting plenty of XP. I've played with Matt a bunch of times. He's very open to the way he plays and everything, so I wouldn't underestimate him by any means. That's always a good thing. And Zoco, he's sitting here with 12 last hits. It's not terrible right now, especially 3 minutes. Obviously, that's pretty good.
Yeah, he's definitely going for the last hit here,
Yeah.
and I guess looks like Centaur's just kind of sitting by.
Yeah.
There's
not a lot of lane management per se, but he is denying a lot of the creeps that are coming out from this lane, so he has to be careful, or at least Matt's not getting the full CS or experience from those creeps in the first place. So that is a little bit cautious and everything, but that's why you have the I guess I'll say Cockpot, because that's his name in the jungle. So it's nothing like too much to be worried about, because if he doesn't get the experience, he should at least be able to counteract on the Bloodseeker to be ganking at level 6, roughly around the same time when Nyx becomes a little bit more active around the map as well.
Looks like Chrono's not really getting too many last hits at this point. He has 5 and 2.
5 and 2, same thing with the Jug, but he's 5 and 1. So it's honestly, as of right now, I mean, as everything stands right now, I think it's pretty much a success. That the fact that you look at Zoco, he's at 12 last hits right now, and you have 0. They're pretty much dead even. And if you look at the supports, they're pretty much even. There's a little bit more denies on the Dire side from the top lane, but that's not terrible. I still think the Dire's in a very strong position, especially when you start hitting the mid game roughly. So don't count any teams out from right now. It's only like 3 minutes in the game, obviously. Right, just waiting for Matt to reconnect.
It says he is back, but we just want to make sure that he is ready to go. Looks like he is going to be ready to go at this point.
And I got a Bounty Rune bot and a DD top. If nobody touches them, they'll be replaced. They're a little less than a minute, and they'll be replaced. You got the AirPods coming out. Wait up. You can't say anything about pauses because that's just the nature of doing. I can't even tell you how many professional matches I've actually seen where the first 15 minutes or whatnot, or if someone DCs, you could be waiting a good 20, 30 minutes just because of the nature of the game.
Yeah, a lot of the more recent lands that I've seen on at least Twitch have been, a lot of the games have been delayed at least like 90 minutes for the sheer fact that they get delayed a lot and people can't connect to the game, end up DCing as well.
Alright, I'm just adjusting a couple of things. Alrighty, we're on pause and we're back in the game. Like I said, we're in a pretty good standing with both sides. We're going to have to see what's going to happen. If we get some good rotations on the Invoker, I think this will definitely help out Lycan, but we'll have to see how the game progresses in terms of that happening. Alrighty, you see that Lycan's actually leveling up his Poison Sting. It's not necessarily bad, it's definitely more of a DPS build. The wards, don't underestimate the wards. I mean, obviously level 1 and 2, they're very easy to kill and you get a little more, you could farm them a lot easier. See, that's 16 gold that goes in the way of the Invoker.
Oof.
As you just saw. That could easily stack up. See, that's another 17 gold. So I don't think he should be able to throw him willy-nilly. Looks like he got Tornado EMP coming out. He has no mana. It looks like he has 100 health. Will he be able to finish off the kill? And it looks like he'll be able to slip off just by the bear.
You take a look at the last hits and denies. Invoker's clearly leading ahead of anybody else on his team or even the Radiant side. I mean, Zoco's kind of getting his last hits in, but Invoker's just getting scary at this point. I mean,
oh yeah, 24 and 6. Looks like he might die for this. No, he's gonna cancel the clarity, and it looks like I said this Lycan only has 10 CS compared to the 24 and 6 Invoker. So this Lycan, like the I say Lycan, but you know, because I think of Lycan the hero, but Lycan just as the Bambino itself. He, like I said, I think they're gonna need to do something to shut down this Invoker indefinitely, and hopefully very soon. Because like I said, the potential of Invoker with someone that's coherent with them is very dangerous, and I'd be very cautious on how he places those words. Like I said, that's easy gold, easy money. As of right now, it looks like the Bloodseeker is kind of getting uncontested, so that's a little bit worrisome. I think that, let's see, 21 and 0 for Zoco, and he's decently close to dying, so he has to be very cautious.
Ooh,
it looks like he's coming out.
Kill here,
the kill goes out, and he looks like he was probably,
he does get out of it.
I would probably say maybe a hit, or maybe he had to hit him twice to get that kill, but very close, and he's actually going to hinder his farm, so that's going to open up some space for the Medusa, of course. And that's obviously worrying, because if you've ever seen a Medusa, it's never good.
Looks like this AA ended up going Cold Feet as well as Ice Vortex first without, he actually skipped the Chilling Touch. When I say AA, I'd prefer to go Chilling Touch first, just in case.
It's preferable. Obviously, it's not necessary by any means. It's how you want to play it. Chilling Touch is definitely something that I think that could have been implemented in, I guess, the game itself and worked just fine.
Exactly, yeah. It's, looks like the Bloodseeker is still getting a decent amount of last hits out of the jungle. Not any.
He's very low.
And he does get blood, yeah.
He's down to 45 health. He will not die, but that, you gotta think the Mystic Snake alone does a lot of damage, but it looks like the Invoker actually got a kill on the Vino.
The Invoker's getting scary. He's at 43 and 7 last hits at 6 minutes.
43 and 7. He already has the Urn. He already has the Phase Boots. And it looks like he's going Quas Wex build, so he's going to have a lot of utility with the EMP. So that is very concerning for the Radiant. Like I said, I hope for some rotations coming out, but we'll have to see how the game progresses at that point.
Yeah, the Invoker's definitely clearly leading on the net worth chart at this point, with Zoco just a little bit behind, as well as the Medusa, but I would really like to see Zoco get like somewhere around like a 12-minute battle fury. I would assume that would help a lot, although just the sheer skill out of the Invoker is a little worrisome, like you said before.
As you see, the experience is 2,000 already in the Dire, and the farm's already 2,000 in the Dire, and that's obviously mainly because the Invoker. And if you look at the last hit chart, the Animage only has half of that. And then you have the Medusa, who's actually starting to get ahead in CS. So that is very concerning.
If you too believe that music has no voice.
Alright, looks like Bane's off to the side. They might try to be setting up for a gank. Don't underestimate the Mystic Snake, because it does definitely do a lot of damage.
That is true. I'd like to actually, I'd like to see the Radiant pull through on this one. I'm actually gonna say, I guess, I would want them to win, like, I guess, emotionally, but I'm overall just unbiased.
Yeah.
With the end up winning, I guess.
I think that Matt's getting all the XP he needs. He's doing exactly what he needs to do for it. He's getting the XP he needs, which is the only and really important thing he needs to do at this moment. I think he might be rushing the Dagon, which I've seen people do. It's very concerning only for the fact that it leaves you a bit more vulnerable, and you won't be able to build it just as fast if they decide that if you die 1 or 2 times, and it puts you back quite a bit.
Exactly, and then when you do try to end up coming back, you don't really have the items to, I guess, like the meat essentially to move forward.
And as you'll see, it looks like the Bane actually got picked off around top. It looks like Jug actually picked up the kill. But as you saw a second ago, the snake is doing a lot of damage. It's pretty much taking almost half of the AA's HP alone. That's very concerning. This Bloodseeker's kind of just been farming, chilling. Nothing too important.
Oh, it looks like the Medusa ended up killing the Ancient Apparition with the snake, and Invoker did get the kill on.
Like I said,
on Dino as well.
Yeah. So the AA did end up dying to that snake. Like I said, very potent. And it looks like the Invoker is starting to steamroll a little bit, as this is a little bit concerning for the Radiant side. Like I said, this 60-9 Invoker with 2 kills is starting to get speed up, pick up, and everything. So that is very concerning.
62-9 at 10 minutes is that's a pretty good amount of farm. I'm not gonna lie. Looks like Juggernaut does go down to the Bane or the Medusa as well top. He was ganked and tried to battle Blade Fury himself out of there, but wasn't able to escape.
That is honestly, if you look at it, Medusa's definitely not the hero you want to get farmed. She'll be able to do a lot of damage, obviously, just in terms of like the late game potential. But that snake alone, just alone with the snake, it snatches your mana and does tons of damage. And with that combo alone, with the utility from the Invoker, is very concerning. And if you were to factor in the Bloodseeker's Blood Right and the, let's say, the Tornado EMP. With like Medusa's ult, it's going to be very scary. And then you have the pick-off heroes such as Bane that's going to be able to hold down someone, and then Matt with the gank potential. So it's very concerning, but as of right now, Zoco seems like he's closing in on the Battle Fury a little bit. So that is a good thing for the Radiant. I think we should start seeing some rotations from the support. That would be very nice. If not, hopefully we get some clashes, or maybe...
you're desperate when you start making a wall of the what is it, Vino wards.
The Vino wards right here. I'm pretty sure see, there we go. We got Tornado going out with an EMP. The cold snap's coming with the urn charge. It looks like he's going to get picked off. Vino will die.
He does go down, as well as Ancient
Apparition. That force step actually enables the execution.
Juggernaut's going to go down as well, Tom.
Oh, no. It looks like he did get away. AA will fall.
Oh, he is ruptured.
He can't go anywhere.
He can't escape.
He can't go anywhere.
He tried to deny himself
the specific for 5 seconds, and he's running and he'll die. And that kill will go to the Bloodseeker. Not too bad. It looks like I said, they have to probably figure out something. Maybe some rotations probably have to go out. Maybe we can have the AA help and back up the Vino mid. Or I think that we would have to do is maybe try to get some pretty good pickoffs, because this Invoker at this point is starting to snowball pretty hard, and that's very concerning. And you see Matt just picking up some CS here and there. And if you look at the graphs, the experience is going, 5K and 5K. That's just net worth and experience alone.
Not looking too good for the Radiant at this point. I mean, I do have faith that they would be able to pull it back eventually. But then again, they do have a fed Invoker and I guess a building Medusa on the Dire side as well. But if the Ancient Apparition was able to go, I guess, Jungle Fever. Hopefully.
His ult,
just kind of keeps going on through there.
I'm assuming the AO ult just went a little bit past, but the Invoker's going by. He forced us into a Tornado EMP. He won't be able to blink away. He has no mana, and then the Bane will keep him in place, and that will keep the AM, and he will die, and the Centaur will die as well. It's not looking too good. The Invoker's starting to help the other lanes, and now that's very concerning that Matt's level 9. That's for the off lane. The Bane's level 7, and then you look at this Invoker, like the Invoker alone is level 12. You look at this side, it looks like the Invoker, or the Jug, does have ulti now. He doesn't have crit, which is a little bit concerning. I think it's the more unorthodox